What's going on, everybody? It is Sunday, July 21st, and just left my favorite store, Academy Sports, here in Elizabethtown. I typically get my corn from just like southern states, something like that, because you get a little bit more. But again, the reason why I love Academy Sports, they got everything we need. So guess what they have? Bags of corn. So I got some corn, I got some supplement additives for the corn. So we're gonna do some filling of the feeders today on 2 different farms. But look, guys, man, it's been extremely hot here in Kentucky. I think the heat index yesterday was about 110. Been extremely busy at work. I mean, when we're putting in 90 to 100 hours a week, it doesn't leave a lot of opportunity to do much other than sleep. So getting everything wrapped up there. Gonna go out today and check 2 farms. Yesterday we did get the opportunity to get out to the lake a little bit, even though it was a scorcher. So we got to the lake, spent some time with the family, friends, and today I'm going to spend some time tending to my deer herd. So like I said, we got some corn, got some additives, we're gonna do some card pulls, check batteries, so on and so forth. So going out to the main farm, check this food plot, and unfortunately I believe this food plot's not going to be looking too good, just for the simple fact of how hot it's been. And we're not no drought by no means, but when it rains, it basically just comes a flash flood for about 5 or 10 minutes, and that's just not giving us that consistent all-day rain that allows it to truly beat down into the soil. So it rains, it runs off the soil, and then it's so hot right afterwards it basically just evaporates right back. So we just haven't had the consistent rain that I think I've needed to get this thing germinated and taken off. So we'll see, fingers crossed, but I'll talk to you again when we get out here. Stay tuned. So as you can tell, we're out at the food plot, and we'll talk about the food plot in a second when we get over there. From this angle, the food plot looks lush, but it's deceiving. So we'll talk about that more here in a second. As you can tell, the feeder is empty. If you notice, I got some holes up here, and that's where the squirrels and whatnot get on there and gnaw through. They climb the pole and they start eating away at that, trying to get inside to get to the corn. So if it's not people stealing your stuff, it's the animals coming out here tearing your stuff up. So it's almost a lose-lose situation, but we keep on going. So speaking of that, as you can tell, my Meyer trail cameras and my plot pods were not returned. So I'm gonna be taking those pictures that I have and turning those over to the proper authorities. I've already contacted the game warden. So if you're watching and you're the one that came out here and took those, when you hear that knock on your door, make sure you answer, because it's gonna be definitely an unpleasant conversation. So we're gonna get this done, and then I'm gonna go talk a little bit more about the food plot. Keep hanging in there. All right, everybody, so it is extremely hot, and I think we're going to get one of those afternoon showers coming in here. Thunder's kind of hitting in the background a little bit. But I was coming up from the woods, checking another stand location, and as soon as I popped back into the field where the food plot's at, a little fawn out here, and she's been playing around for about 15-20 minutes. She's standing right here. She has no idea what I am. Oh, there's 2 of them. Hold on. So the food plot's working, and the ryegrass is really strong, but everything under the ryegrass is basically dead. I'm gonna get out here and walk around and show you what I'm talking about, but hoping, yeah, there they go. They're gonna work down the hill. But just awesome, man. Every time I come out here to have the encounters with the deer that I do, tells me that the things that I'm doing are working. So let's get over here and check this food plot out. You can see here with the food plot that ryegrass came on real strong. It's doing good, but anywhere that it's not thick, you've got this real dry, dead. I mean, it just killed off all the vegetation, all the foliage down there. And then really underneath of it is about the only place you got some clovers coming in. So unfortunately, we just didn't get the rain. We haven't had the consistent rain. Of course, it looks like it's about to pour right now. But that's just it. It comes a flood for 5 to 10 minutes. It basically just runs off, and then the heat comes right back, so it evaporates everything. So we're just not getting that pounding rain where it's really pushing it into the ground to give this food plot the nutrients it needs. But we have pockets of clover that are still here, and obviously the deer are still using it. So I'm going to leave it alone, and I'll make a determination probably closer to September or into September on what we're going to do with it. I might turn it over. Yeah, I think I'm going to get wet. But I might turn it over and put it in Frigid Forage Borrastica for the late season, or for the season itself. Or if we start getting some rain and it starts bringing this clover on stronger, I might just leave it, because that was my intent this year, is to just put it in a heavy clover seed or blend and let the clover take over, and then just keep taking care of that clover year over year instead of keep on turning it over. So we'll figure that out here probably about mid-September. So keep tuning in. We're going to go check out this last camera on this farm. We've gotten 7 checked already, 2 more put out, and then we're going to have about an hour and a half drive out to the other lease. So keep hanging in there. All right, everybody, we are at the drop lease we picked up last season. I'm on the far other side that I haven't really done much with or explored too much. There's an old logging road. When I say old logging road, it is definitely grown up, and it is so hilly and mountainous and wooded terrain back here that getting a four-wheeler back too far without cutting down trees is darn near impossible. But I got about a mile back, mile and a half from where I came in at. Just coming along, and I noticed this, I don't know, there's a creek bottom at the bottom here. And this is about the most gradual decline down into that creek bottom. And then sure enough, let me flip this around. There's a heavy, heavy trail that runs right down to that creek. Now everywhere else, you're talking almost bluff situation around here, except for this one area where it kind of gradually descends down into the creek. So I brought a Big and J block. Sorry, it's upside down, but I've got that. I'm gonna get that set up over in here, clear area out, just entice them to stop and get their picture taken. First and foremost, I need to start getting some intel on what bucks and what deer are over here before I formalize a plan on how to hunt them. So I'm gonna set the Big and J block and drop a couple cameras in this area. Good little flat area. I mean, considering I'm in the mountains, this is a pretty flat area. So we're gonna get that all set up, and then we're gonna head back over and check on the feeder, fill the feeder, and pull some cards. So we're getting close, guys. It's at least the rain is not as hot. Thank goodness. Keep hanging in there with me. All right, so I got a little area cleaned out here for the Big and J block. Got all the debris and everything moved off down to straight dirt, right off of this heavy trail. It goes right down to that creek. We're gonna walk down there in a second, see if we can't find us a snake. Ooh. But if you notice, I think these are Wild Game Innovations or something like that cameras. and they're really good cameras, take great pictures. They just don't have the connector to hook any type of mount to them, so you have to use the strap. So I think I have like 3 or 4 of these, and I really just reserve them for little quick setups where I'm going to come out. I just want some quick intel over a couple week period, so I'll throw that up. No big deal. But on the long-term stuff, I'm going to want to use an ultimate camera mount, plot pod, something like that, to keep that away from the tree. As you can see, unless I stick a stick or something in there, I'm not really getting much angle. I'm just going with whatever the tree's providing me. But already, you know, there's bugs on the tree and everything else. You know, if you were going to leave that there very long, that strap's going to wind up rotting. It's going to, you know, entice bugs and whatnot to come over to this camera, invade the camera, make that useless. So a waste of, I think I got 80 bucks in that camera. So if you guys are listening to me, make a mount port on your cameras. These are great cameras. I just can't use them very much because I don't like the way that I have to mount them with a strap. So it'll do for now. It'll give me the intel I'm looking for. So got the camera, got the Big and J. I'm gonna put another camera up higher up on this hill on this trail, and we'll go from there. Well, you can see all the skid marks going up, trying to get out of this hole, but there's a good buck print right there. So it's not just doe that are using this. Bucks are coming through here too. So that's a good sign. Hopefully we'll get some good pictures. I love that MRI, most recent intel. Now I gotta climb back up there. Whew, wish me luck. All right, so I'm over here to the feeder site that we set up several weeks ago. And as you can see, hopefully you can see that all behind me. I mean, they've really got the ground just, I mean, it's down to the bare dirt. And very little leftover corn or Purina Antler Max. I mean, it's gone. So lots of trails, lots of new activity coming through here. So pretty excited about that. I know last time I did a card pull on this after it ran for just about a week and a half, there was a lot of raccoons out here. So hopefully we'll get some good intel. Hopefully these deer have really started to pick up on the fact that this is over here. I did notice on the way in that the mineral site, the trophy rock, the crushed trophy rock that we put in the ground is all dissolved. So I'll talk about that here in a second. Time to fill the feeder. Let's go. There's a big track. This is one of the trail cameras I have pointing back up on this feed station, and got that ultimate camera mount on there. You can tell that stuff's been on it, and there was actually some bird crap on there, so obviously a bird is perched there. Used the bathroom down the front of it, got that cleaned off, but squirrels, raccoons, whatever, I have 100% guarantee that every time that I come back to check this camera, that ultimate camera mount, and look, that's all my weight pulling against that camera mount, and it's not moving. So it's just nice knowing that I have that reassurance that I can let these cameras run for weeks on end, months on end, and when I come back, they're going to be still pointing at the exact same thing that I was hoping they were pointing at, so that I could get the most intel for the amount of time and money that I put into getting that intel. I mean, you got corn, minerals, everything else that we do and we spend money on to get, you know, that good quality intel on the deer that we have in our herd, and so we can start populating that hit list and things of that nature for the upcoming season. The last thing you want to do is come back and all that time, money, energy, effort was all for naught because your camera's sitting there pointing at the ground. So ultimate camera mounts, guys, you got to check them out. They work. Now let's go check this mineral station. Well, you can see that the majority of that mineral, I mean, that was probably a foot high off the ground all the way across there, and that's all that's left. So basically that's supposed to happen. This mineral is supposed to go deep down in the ground, and then over time this deer will locate it and they'll start really pulling up that ground. Sorry, I'm about out of breath. It's a hike over here. Seems like all I do on this side is fight these hills, and great terrain for these big bruisers. but man, getting one out of here is going to be a beast. So got one more camera over here. I'm gonna pull the card. The mineral looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do. Doesn't look like they've really done much with it. I see a couple little prints in there, but they're not pawing at it or eating the ground or eating the mineral from what I can tell. So that'll tell me more. So I'll pull that, and then I think we're about done as far as the field work. Now it's time to go get behind a computer and I'm sure look at about 10,000 pictures until we hopefully can find the ones that you guys are interested in seeing. So keep hanging in there with me.